Kevin Powers joined the United States Army when he was 17 years old. The Iraqi veteran has written his first novel, The Yellow Birds, which captures the intensity of war and brings it to life. Our own Becky Anderson sits down with Powers in this week's edition of Authors Revealed.
Welcome to Authors Revealed. I'm so excited. We have a book that's going to go down as one of the great war novels of the Iraqi War. It's Kevin Powers, his debut novel, The Yellow Birds. Well, Kevin, welcome to Anderson's and to Naperville.
Thank you very much.
So how did you come to join the Army at 17?
Well, that's an interesting question. There's not an easy, there's not one specific reason. I grew up in a family that had a kind of tradition of military service. My father had served in the Army, my uncle, both of my grandfathers. Nobody did it as a career, but it did seem like a reason, you know, when you have that kind of family tradition, it just seems like a reasonable thing to do. You know, I wanted to go to college. They offered to pay. I was 17 after all, so the idea of adventure was attractive to me in a way. Sure.
Yeah. The book takes place mostly in I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, Altafar?
It's made up, so you can really pronounce it anywhere you want. Yeah.
But it's similar. It's very similar to where you must have been, right?
It is. Yeah. It's essentially a common. So I served in Mosul and Talafar, and it's kind of combining the landscape of those two cities allowed me to do some things that I wanted to do in the story.
So for this book, you know, what was your inspiration? And we know because of your own personal experience, but what made you want to sit down and write a fiction novel about, you know, and about what was happening over there? Yeah,
well, no, I mean, so reading poetry and fiction is kind of the way that I've always understood the world, or at least tried to understand the world. It just seems like that's, for me, the perfect lens to look at my experience, to try to understand other people's experience. So when I started thinking about my experience being a soldier in Iraq, the kind of questions that I was asked when I got home, like what was it like over there, it just felt very natural to try to answer those questions by telling a story, by creating this character whose interior life I could examine as fully as I was able to.
Tell us about the title of the book, and it does say in the beginning, because it has the marching cadence on it.
As I was writing the book, I was thinking of different potential titles. Once that occurred to me, I knew that was going to be the title, because it seemed to be both kind of jarring and shocking, but also sort of heartbreaking in a way.
Well, Kevin, thank you so much, and congratulations on The Yellow Bird.
Thanks for talking to me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
That was an incredible conversation with Kevin Powers, debut author, about his novel about the Iraqi War, The Yellow Birds. Back to you, Jen.
Thanks, Becky. If you're interested in the full interview with Kevin Powers, visit our website at nctv17.com for a list of airtimes.